Hi everybody, here's a quick video to show you how to take through Design Space the new SVGs, bundle of 6 SVGs actually, which enable you to make these gable top boxes for 4-ounce candle tins. I already have a set out there for 8-ounce, but they don't reduce down in Pro well enough to fit these 4-ounce tins, so I've brought a new collection out to fit these smaller tins. So there you are. You can see the 1 for 3, 2 and 1 tins. There's the 1 tin. All the boxes, because you get that variation of files, you can make every single box in this collection just using the standard mat. It's just that occasionally you might have to pick the 2-piece box. But I think most of them anyway, do cut just from A4 or letter or 12 by 12 using the standard mat. I think for the A3s was just when I wanted to cut more than one piece out of a large sheet. But yeah, basically all these boxes will cut on the standard mat. So there's the little one tin box. They all feature this really easy locking base. There's very little gluing to do. If you use the one piece files, you've just got one seam to glue. It's a lovely gable top closure, so no gluing there either, and no gluing on the base. So they're very quick to assemble once you've made them. There's the 2 tin box. That's the 3 one again. And there they are all together. So let's just very quickly go into Design Space and show you how to take them through. With this new update of Design Space, it is a little bit trickier, I think, just working in the layers panel, because you have to sort of unfold it all now. But anyway, we'll have a look at that when they come in. So I'm going to start with the 1-box 2-piece file at the moment. Yeah, so before I always work in the layers panel. You'll know that if you've seen any of my other videos, and normally the layers panel would be expanded to show all the layers and groups within it, but it's not. Since the new update, which came out the other day, it's no longer like that. So you have to, if you want to see all the layers within your layers panel, you've got to toggle those little buttons at the side of the group name so that everything rolls down and you can see exactly what's in there. But once you've done that, the process is the same as it always is. So with any multi-part cut file SVG, your first step is to convert the lines that come in as cuts but which we want to be scores. We can't make them come in already set to score. So with mine, they always live in that first subgroup in your layers panel. So you just need to click on the second line down. If it's not a group, that's where all the scores will live, but this is a group, so that's the name of the group. Just click on it, it selects all of them, then find your operations menu. I'm on the desktop version for PC, so in the top left hand corner here for me. Click on Basic Cut and choose Score from the drop down, and you can see that they've been converted now. And because there's more than one set, we've got to ungroup them. One group for me is at the top of the layers panel. The next step, and you can see that that group disappears then, there's no little button to toggle open and closed. Next step is to select the group underneath that's got all the cut pieces in it. Then we just need to ungroup there. And a final step, get rid of that final group by selecting everything and ungrouping once more. So now everything on canvas is a separate piece and we can attach individual scores to the pieces that they relate to. Simplest way to do that, click on canvas next to a piece, drag a box to more or less enclose it and click attach, which for me is at the bottom of the layers panel. Okay, and if we hit make it with that one, don't want to save it, you'll see you can choose A4. You can only get one piece on an A4 unfortunately, or letter, but if you choose 12 by 12, it still spreads them out, but you can tell, can't you, just by looking at it, that there's lots of space. So you're just going to move both pieces onto the same mat and then they easily will cut from one sheet of 12 by 12. I'm not going to cut it, so we'll just cancel and delete, and I'll bring in the one piece version of that now. So I'm looking for, there it is. This is the box for 1 tin, but you can cut it all in one piece. So just expand that group again. There is only one set of scores now because this is a single piece box, but you still need to convert them. So click on that second line down again. It selects all the scores in here, which for this single piece file is one set. go to your operations menu, choose score from the drop down, and now because this is a single piece, we don't need to do any ungrouping. We can just select everything on screen and attach. So if we just take a look here at the size of this piece, it's 28.5 centimeters wide, which actually is well within the length of a sheet of A4. You've got 12 millimeters to play with, which is nearly half an inch, and it's just over 17 centimeters deep. So it won't cut from letter, it's too long, but it will cut from A4. But when you actually click make it, because Design Space likes to leave the big margins, you can't choose A4. So choose 12 by 12. It puts it on the standard mat, and then if you're using A4, just put your A4 on the mat just a couple of millimeters away from that very first white line on your mat, and you'll have that little bit of extra to play with there. I don't think you'll need it, it fits on anyway, but if you're worried at all, you can just get round it that way. So it will cut from A4. If you're in the US and you can't get A4, you'll need to use 12 by 12, so one sheet of each of those. So that's the one tin box. I'm bringing the two tin box now, and we'll start with the two piece. So it works in exactly the same way. We'll just expand those groups again. Bit tricky to do when I've got this huge pointer, which I use to show you where I am. Right, so again, second line down in your layers panel, it selects that group that's got all the scores in it. Go to your operations menu, down to score. Because there's more than one set, we need to ungroup. Then ungroup the the group that's got all the cut pieces in it, and finally select everything and ungroup a third time. These are the little slips of card that you just put in between the tins to stop the lid of the bottom one getting scratched. So that's what that is. That's the back and one side, and this obviously is the front and one side. So if we click make it, we can cut it on A4, and I'm pretty sure, let's just try. I would have thought that should go on there. Yes, easily, even if you had to move that. But yeah, so 2 sheets of A4 to cut that. Let's see what happens when we use letter. Yeah, again, I think that's going to go on the same sheet as one of those. Yes, so 2 sheets of A4 or 2 sheets of letter. If you're using 12 by 12, it's possibly not quite as economical cut, I would think. I don't think that will fit on the same mat as the other one. No, that's a shame. It's a few millimeters out. I mean, if you weren't bothered about what your glue tab looks like, you could probably stick them together anyway, and you just end up with a notch out of one glue tab. But you could do it from 12 by 12 that way if you wanted to. If you're trying to be a bit more frugal and save paper, might be worth doing that actually. I personally would probably do that. Right, so that's the 2 tin 2-part box. We'll bring in the 1-part box now for 2 tins. There it is. Again, we just need to select that second line down to get the scores. Convert in the operations menu, and then just select everything. And because this is a, oh no, we will have to ungroup these. It's got that second little piece in, hasn't it, for the insert there. So we do actually have to ungroup that. Sorry about the dog barking. I think the postman's just come to the door. Hope somebody answers that soon. Right, so then we need to ungroup everything on screen. Attach the scores to the main piece, and as I said before, that's the piece that just slips inside between the 2 tins so the lid of the bottom one doesn't get scratched. So if we click make it, yeah, we can't choose A4 anymore, it's too long for A4, so we would choose 12 by 12. So this box cuts from 1 sheet of 12 by 12. You won't get 2 on an A3 either, so yeah, that's the best size to cut that from. Okay, let's look at the biggest box now then, and we'll bring in the 2-part SVG first. This is the box for 3 4-ounce tins. Let's expand these layers. It's a bit tedious that they've done that. I can't understand why they've done it, and I hope they change it soon in another update. There's no reason to have those closed up, I don't think. So again, second line down in your layers panel to select the group that's got all the lines in it that we need to convert to score. Operations menu, choose score from the drop down, and because there's more than one set, we've got to ungroup them. Then select the group that's got all the cut pieces in it, ungroup that, and then select everything and ungroup a third time. So now everything's separate and we can attach the scores to the individual pieces. So make. So here we can choose A4, the box front side and back side will cut on an A4. We can't get the little slips that go between the tins, so you need about 2.5 sheets of A4 for this one. We can choose letter, same, 2.5 sheets. It's 2 sheets and a scrap really, isn't it? 2.5 sheets of letter for if you're in the US and you can't get A4. And if you're using 12 by 12, yeah, you're going to need 2 sheets because we won't get that. You'd need another sheet for those two anyway, even if we tried to squeeze those on like we did before, you'd still need another sheet for that. So yeah, two sheets for that with quite a bit left over, but you'll hang on to that for something else, won't you? Okay, so that's the 3-tin 2-part SVG. Last one, the single piece box for 3 4-ounce tins. So again, select the scores, convert them in your operations menu. Then we need to ungroup the cut pieces because there's more than one. Then we need to ungroup the whole thing. Those are the pieces that slip between the tins to stop the lids getting scratched. And that's the scores attached to the main box piece. Okay, so I think for this one, you can use 12 by 12 still, which is great. All these can be cut on the standard mat. You can also use A3 or tabloid, obviously. I think you could choose, yeah, even tabloid would work. So you'd get the whole box on one sheet of tabloid, one sheet of A3 if that's what you've got. I tend to work in A3 all the time, so that's quite nice. Okay, that's it. Don't think I need to show you anything else. If you've got any questions when you come to cut or assemble them, don't hesitate to get in touch. They are super easy to make, though, as you can see with these single piece boxes. You've literally got that one tab to join, and then the gable top requires no sealing, and neither does the bottom because it's just that lovely easy locking base. You do get a PDF of assembly instructions, but it's super easy and super quick. If you want to get in touch, the links to do that are in the description below. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook, whichever you prefer. And if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, there's a link to the Etsy shop in the description as well. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.